There's a new scam every day. I'll be honest. The scams that these people come up with are some of the most morally wrong scams you could possibly see. The victims, though. Let's hear the story.
A warning for people with missing pets. Palm Beach County Animal Care and Control says you could be the target of a new scam. In some cases, scammers are even pretending to be employees with the
$500
ACC.
reward.
Rachel Perry explains how the scam works and how to protect yourself from falling for it.
Flyers just like this one, for example, can be seen all over the place. They list details about the missing animal and the owner's contact information. Now, I'm told all of this information is unfortunately being used to scam the owner out of money. Palm Beach County Animal Care and Control spokesperson Ariel Weinberger says it can't get lower than this. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Scammers targeting people desperately searching for their missing pet. We've had people come out here after speaking to these scammers being like, I got a call saying you got my pet, asking for money, so I came here to come pick it up. And we have to tell them that, unfortunately, their pet hasn't even been to the shelter. That hasn't been found yet. The scam works like this. The owner of the pet receives a call from someone claiming to be with Animal Care and Control, saying they have the missing pet. And they're saying that we either need you to send us money to reclaim your pet, or that their pet has been in an accident and we are withholding treatment until we receive the money to pay for it. Weinberger says typically those scammers seem to be patrolling websites like Nextdoor, Facebook, or even local shelters. And unfortunately, in some cases, she says the scammers spoof the ACC's phone number. Now, if the owner sends it, that money is gone and their pet is still nowhere to be found. Animal Care and Control will not request money over the phone for reclaiming or for medical services. We will especially not withhold any medical services until we receive payment. That's just simply not what we do. If you receive a call
want payment though, right?
From Palm Beach County Animal Care and Control, Weinberger says always call their office directly. You can also go to their website where they list all of the pets they find. All that information will be on our website, WPBF.com. In Palm Beach County, Rachel Perry, WPBF 25 News.
I wonder if they will release your pet to you without payment. I don't know. I'm asking, team. If y'all know that, let me know in the comments. If they do find your pet and your pet needs to receive emergency medical attention, or if they do find your pet or your pet's turned into them, do they make you pay before they release your pet to you as the pet owner? Can you take your pet with any type of outstanding balance? You know, this is just bad. Team, what are we doing with this? Where are we going to start at? We're going to start with the scammers. Let's start with the scammers. Scammers, what are y'all doing? Is the scam world hurting that much where you have to prey on these emotionally vulnerable people and their pets? See, now the thing now is that pets are not just a part of a person as far as, you know, a utility, right? Pets aren't like a stuffed animal that can actually move around. No, I got stuffed animals. I got you right here. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Hold on, team. You know I do this live, so I'm never prepared. But I'm gonna just show y'all. One of my faves right here. I don't know if you can call him an animal. You call him an animal? This is just one of them. It's just one of my stuffed animals. And if somebody, or if my Yoda was lost, and I do have identifying marks on Yoda. So if my Yoda is found, I will know that it's my Yoda, because I would pay more money for this Yoda than it's worth in the store. Because if this Yoda was to disappear or be stolen or anything like that would happen, well, I would want this exact Yoda back. It can't just be any Yoda, right? So that's the issue that they deal with when they lose their cat. I mean, technically, You seen a person that was offering $500 for their dog, and that dog might only be a $200 dog. You could buy that same dog for $200, but you want that dog, right? So I would want this Yoda, right? This Yoda right here. You see, this is actually supposed to be attached right here. If you can look, I'll show you right here. See that kind of came off. So I need to actually find a way to reattach that. But, you know, my Yoda has, you know, imperfections, right? You know, the front's good. But, you know, I got an array of other stuffed animals over there, but they're kind of chilling. They're over there watching, they're watching a football game. I don't want to disturb them. Yoda's not really into football. He's more of a basketball guy, and all the basketball games are over right now, so he's good. He's actually more interested in watching me perform content. So he actually you like it? Huh? Yeah?
You must unlearn what you have learned.
See, he loves it. He loves it. So back to the story at hand. Scammers, what are y'all doing? Can't y'all come up with a better way? And then for the victims of this, sometimes you have to learn how to take your emotions out of it. You get the call, somebody's recovered your pet. They spoof the number, which is very easy to do. You can spoof. We've done videos where people end up getting scammed by fake banks because the number will show up as Wells Fargo or Bank of America, US Bank. It's very easy to spoof a number. And then they end up giving up their one-time password that basically resets the password to their login. And then when they have their login information, they can sign in and then transfer money out of their account within minutes and get away with a large sum of cash. People have been scammed for thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the scammers are always coming up with something. And now this is just the newest and latest way that they're scamming people. And the problem with it is that, you know, they're bringing awareness to this situation, but they're also giving ideas to scammers on different ways that they can get over on the people based off of their emotions. Now, just because they show me this story, I've just thought about 3 other scams that are closely associated to it that criminals can come up with to get over on people. In this situation, the people that are allowing their money to be siphoned by criminals through this scam that send the money, I want to know how they're sending it to them. Is somebody just like, yo, this is my Cash App? Like, because they're not telling them I don't think the criminals are setting up a online website that has a domain name similar to the pet shelter. So, you know, that's probably a red flag. Again, the news doesn't give us all the details of how this is happening. The news is very, very shady in the way that they report. That's why we do these stories that actually cover over the stories that give us the opportunity. Now, even right here, they're doing the work for us. They got the number right here of the people that have lost their pets, along with a description of the pet. And these people are just trying to find their corgis or their dachshunds or their Siamese cats. I had a Siamese cat. The last cat I had was a Siamese cat. And I'll be honest, team, I would have paid more to get my cat back. But me personally, and I'm just going to be 100% with you, my cat wouldn't have ran away. My cat was trained to not run away from me. Now, a lot of y'all don't have control of your pets, and we got to talk about that too, especially the dogs. Especially the dogs be out of control. I've messed with some, usually I'm going to go light today. I'm going to go really light today. I'm not going to single out any specific person or anything like that. But I've been around people that have had no control of their pets. Their pet basically controls them. And these pets, because they're not trained specifically well, end up putting themselves in a position to be kidnapped, or they run away. First opportunity that the door is open, they and they're gone. And you don't know what the hell happened. Look, if my pet runs away from me, I mean, I'm not paying to get them back. You're the one that caused this. I don't know, team. This is all just crazy. Now, I did want to look at a few other things regarding this because it is really interesting to me.
Pick it up, and we have to tell them that unfortunately their pet hasn't even been to the shelter. It hasn't been found yet.
The scam works like this. The owner of the pet receives a call from someone claiming to be with Animal Care and Control, saying they have the missing pet.
And they're saying that we either need you to send us money to reclaim your pet, or
Send it how,
that
though?
their pet has been in an accident and we're withholding treatment until we receive the money to pay for it.
Weinberger says typically those scammers seem to be patrolling websites like Nextdoor, Facebook, or even local shelters. And unfortunately, in some cases, she says the scammers spoof the ACC's phone number. Now, if the owner sends it, that money is gone and their pet is still nowhere to be found.
Animal Care and Control will not request.
See, these people, and then, like, honestly, like, these people be saying that their pet, their dog moms, dog dads, sometimes cat mom, cat dad. They say hamster dads and stuff like that. Look, if you're a pet mom or a pet dad and you're allowing your pet to just be lost and disappear and run off from you and all that, or get jacked and stolen, listen, that's probably where you don't want to have a real kid at that. Cause listen, like, now I know kids get stolen and stuff like that, but this is a precursor for you to understand how it is to deal with a kid. And, you know, if you ever have a child after that, like an actual human, you know, you might want to have a little more responsibility there. I have children. I've never lost them in a way like that. You know, my thing is this, though, team. And my thing is this. I'm going to leave it at this. Actually, we're going to go on an undirected perspective. We're going to go light for this one. And you're probably wondering, why are we going light for this one? We're going light for this one because there's hope here. There's absolutely hope here. And what we can do to rectify this situation is be more proactive with the way that we raise our animals and the protective measures that we put in place. And it all first starts off with training your pet from the time that you get them and investing in your pet more heavily to avoid this. Because what we do with children is we keep them in our sights at all times, 24/7, basically until the child is probably around like between 7 to 10 years old. You're going to have eyes on your child pretty much at all times, right? And if eyes aren't directly on the child, they're in the next room and there's a baby monitor attached with sound and sometimes video feed. And that's how you got to be with your pet until your pet gets to a point where you can trust that your pet isn't going to make a terrible decision and get itself lost or stolen. Usually if it's stolen, it's your fault. And if it's lost, then it's still your fault, but it's also the pet's fault for not making the right decision. And this can all be avoided for the most part. But this is something that's going to continue to happen. And it's not going to stop. I want to hear from y'all, team. Let me know, what are some of the ways that you can avoid this issue from happening? And what are you going to do if you get that call and somebody asks you to pay up front? Do you think that your emotions would overcome you and then you would end up paying? Sending money to Cash App, on the spot? Because you would think that somebody in that situation would drop everything that they're doing and be like, don't worry about it. I'm coming down there and I'm bringing you cash, or, I'll bring my credit card down, or I'll pay you at the shelter right now. And some people probably do that. But, if it's big enough for it to become a news story, then there's been enough money to make it to the point where it's something that needs to be discussed and put out to the world. So I definitely want to cover this one. I thought it was very interesting. Man, if I lost you, Baby Yoda, I'd be very, very, very hurt. I'm not gonna lie. That's just the situation that we put ourselves in when we decide to have things that we care about. And when I decided to have children, I did put myself in a vulnerable position because, if anything ever happens to them, it's going to be very, very hurtful. And I guess it's the same for them. Maybe not in the same way, but if I got clipped or something like that or went missing, my kids, they'd be destroyed. And that's just what we go through as humans. I think pets think about it in a different way. I'm wondering though, and now this actually just brings me to this last point before we go. Would the pets care in the same way if the owner went missing than we do about the pets? Because I actually have the thought process that for most circumstances, other than a few special, unique pets, which there are pets that are a little bit, everybody thinks their pet is the most special pet, but a lot of them are just insolent and they don't know what the hell's going on, and they're just not very smart. But there are some pets, and you may have one that is very, very smart and just kind of like a human being in a pet's body, right? Like just on a whole different psychological level than most pets. But the average pet, would they really care if their owner disappeared? If they went to a new situation, a new household, because I know pet owners that have given their pet away for whatever reason. There was actually this mom that I knew just recently. She's a new mom. She had a dog for about 3 years that she basically called her child until she ended up getting pregnant with her first son. And during the pregnancy, everything was fine. Then when she had the baby and the baby was delivered, the dog that she had hated the kid. So at that point, she had to make a decision. She tried to work it out. She even got a pet therapist, which costed a lot of money. The pet therapist could not change the dog's attitude towards the kid. The dog would act crazy around the kid, try to torment the kid. I mean, it's a real situation. And ultimately, she had to get rid of the dog. So she gave the dog to her brother, and he took the dog or whatever. He was already kind of in the dog's life as the brother. He'd see the dog all the time, and she had to make a choice. When she actually had her kid, she had to get rid of her other kid. They couldn't coexist. The dog was just way too jealous. So that is an instance of a pet just kind of, having possibly human tendencies, I guess, of jealousy. I don't know if most pets get jealous in that way, but, that dog did. Very unique dog. I don't know. That's all I got for this one, team. Y'all let me know what you think about this one. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best audience on YouTube.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
What do you mean?
I mean that I love y'all, team. I appreciate y'all. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm all the way out of here.
Goodbye.
I hope all those people get their pets back, though, like for real. And I really, would like to see scammers start having a little more of a moral compass to the way that they commit these scams. It's usually best when you commit scams against people that are greedy rather than people that are just in a vulnerable emotional state because they lost their Fido or their, give me a cat name, Pause.